Imagine being born into a world where you are seen as property. No rights, no name of your own, no future beyond what your enslaver allows. This was the reality for millions of people in the United States, including a child born in 1818 on a Maryland plantation. His name? Well, at first he had none, but the world would come to know him as Frederick Douglass, a man who escaped slavery and changed America forever. From a young age, Douglass understood something that many around him didn't. Knowledge was power. He was sent to Baltimore to work for a shipbuilder, where his enslaver's wife began teaching him the alphabet. But when her husband found out, he was furious. If you teach a slave to read, there will be no keeping him. That was all Douglass needed to hear. He knew then and there that literacy was his ticket to freedom. From that moment on, he taught himself to read in secret, tricking white children into teaching him by pretending he didn't understand words. He read newspapers, political speeches, and books, including one that would change his life, The Columbian Orator, a collection of essays on freedom and democracy. These words lit a fire inside him. He realized that slavery wasn't just cruel, it was a deliberate system designed to keep people ignorant and powerless. But knowledge alone wasn't enough. Douglass wanted freedom. At the age of 20, he devised a dangerous plan. Disguised as a free black sailor, he boarded a train heading north, carrying forged identity papers. "Conductor, papers, please." Douglass hands them over. A brief pause. The conductor nods his head and moves on. He was free, but his mission was just beginning. In the North, Douglass didn't just settle into freedom. He became a force of nature. He began attending anti-slavery meetings, where his powerful words caught the attention of the American Anti-Slavery Society. Soon, he was traveling across the country, giving speeches that left audiences speechless. "Douglass, you have seen how a man was made a slave. Now you shall see how a slave was made a man." He spoke of the brutal realities of slavery, not just the physical pain, but the deep psychological scars. He exposed what many white Americans wanted to ignore. His words were so powerful that many people refused to believe he had ever been enslaved. They thought a black man could never be so articulate. So he wrote his autobiography to prove them wrong. But his success put him in danger. With his name now famous, his former enslaver could legally hunt him down and return him to slavery. So he fled to Great Britain. In Britain, Douglass continued his fight against slavery, and something incredible happened. His supporters raised enough money to buy his legal freedom. Now permanently free, Douglass returned to America stronger than ever. He started his own newspaper, the North Star, with a motto that made his mission clear. Then came the Civil War. Douglass saw it as the moment to end slavery once and for all. He met with President Lincoln multiple times, pushing for the emancipation of enslaved people and for black men to be allowed to fight for the Union Army. When Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, Douglass saw it as a victory, but not the end of the fight. After slavery was abolished, Douglass didn't stop. He fought for black rights, women's suffrage, and justice for all oppressed people. He even became the first black man to hold high government positions, serving as U.S. Marshal, Ambassador, and more. Frederick Douglass died in 1895, but his words still echo through time. He proved that knowledge is power, courage changes history, and one person can make a difference. Frederick Douglass's legacy lives on. What do you think we can still learn from his story today? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more incredible history, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Enjoy.